Alright, good morning and welcome back to Logic Lemur Solve Sudoku. And this one I've got here is called Skiing Through the Fog by ElChiglia. Like the name? So let's go through the rules real quick. So we start off with normal Sudoku rules apply. Every row, every column, every 3x3 box has the digits 1 through 9 once each. Here, now help the skier navigate through the fog. The skier starts at the arrow, which is here, and needs to pass through all gates by crossing all between lines. This is a between line. The pass must run orthagonally between adjacent cells. It cannot hit the poles, circles of the gates. Furthermore, since we're on a steep hill, the path can only go left, right, or down, but never up, and it cannot visit any cell more than once. During his slalom, adjacent cells on the skier's path oscillate polarity, alternating between low and high digits. It's like a German whispers. The slalom gates act as between lines. So like I said, this was between lines. Cells along a line connecting the poles of a gate must have values between those in the circles. So if this was like an 8 and this was a 4, this could be 5, 6, or 7. It's just what the between lines means. Each gate is exactly one cell wide. The line contains only one cell. Additionally, each gate is numbered along the path of the skier starting at 1. One of the two circles must contain that respective number. So if this is the start, one of these has to be a 1. The other one can be whatever the heck it wants. Okay, along the path, the gates alternate between being red and blue. The grid is partially covered by fog, which means when a correct digit is placed, the fog will be lifted from the surrounding cells. Cells connected by a white dot contain consecutive digits. Digits in cells connected by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. So that's kropki dots. So it means like if this had a white dot between them and this was a 1, this would have to be a 2. This was like a 5, this could be a 4 or 6. And then the black kropki dots are 1:2 ratio. So if this was a 1, this would be a 2. And then this would be a 4. Or if there's only 2 of them here, this could be like 3 and 6, something like that. So anyway, and the final rule is cells connected with an X must contain digits summing to 10. So these two digits have to add up to equal 10. So that's a bit of a long rule set, but it seems like it's a lot of fun. Always a big fan of fog Sudokus. I don't know why. I just really like the way it works and how things start revealing themselves as you move through the puzzle. Anyway, those are the rules. Again, Skiing Through the Fog by ElChiglia. Let's get into it. So, where to start? I like typically do this a black kropki dot because it's limited. There's a couple digits can never be on it, which are 5, 7, and 9. Because 5, 7, and 9 do not have a 1:2 ratio with any other valid Sudoku digit. Now, we also know that one of these has to be a 1, because this is where the skiing path starts. It has to go downhill somehow. So this is the first gate. One of these has to be a 1. So we know we can't put a 1 in here. We can't do 3 and 6. Those are the other types of values you can put on kropki dots, but only if there were 2 of them, or if it was like the dots did this. This could be 3, 6, 3, and still comply with the normal Sudoku rules. So this has to be from 1, 2, 4, and 8, and it doesn't have a 1. So it's 2, 4, and 8, which means this middle digit has to be the 4. It has to be flanked on both sides by the 2 and the 8. Now, this 10 means this is a 6. Let me start drawing my skiing path in. I'll use blue. It's semi-watery snow type thing. So it has to go through each of these gates. And it said it alternated between the two, the blue and the red. Sorry, I was trying to read and talk at the same time. It didn't work very well. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any rules again. Path runs orthagonally. Alternating between, oh, polarity. Okay. That's where I was confusing myself, because I mentioned German whispers, and I was like, that's not a German whisper. But it just has to be high and low. So what that means now, if this is high and this is on the path, this has to be low. So it's got to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It can't be 1, 2, or 4, so it has to be 3. This path has to continue through this gate. This now, it has to be high, 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's not 6, so 7, 8, 9. Now this gate has to have a 2 on it somewhere, and it can't be there, so it has to be there. Which gives me the 8 and the 2. Now, what are these leftovers? We've got 1, 5, 7, and 9. These are not 1. Oh, here's something. This can never be a 9. You can never put a 9 on a between line, because it can't be between anything. It would have to be between 8 and 10 or something like that, so that's not 9. So one of these is a 1. This is a 6, so this cannot be a 5. So there has to be a 5 in one of these two. 7 or 8. This had to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Not too helpful. This is a 2, so this has to be a 1 or a 3. I don't know exactly which one that is. I don't know if this slope comes down here. Well, no, I do know it, because it has to alternate polarity. So if this is a high at 7 or 8, so the next one has to be low. So it can't go down here. So this comes in this way. This has to be from 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's not 2, 3, or 4. It's 1, which gives me a 3. Okay, so this is a red one, but that's not the next one in line, because there has to be a blue. So I've got to be able to get over the top of this thing. You can see the little gate down here. So this is going to be the one end of it. This is the single digit, and there's going to be another one over here. But anyway, I digress. This has to get up and over, which means this has to be another high one. It can't be 6, so it's 7, 8, 9. This has to go low again, and it has to be 2. It's the only one that's left, so here's my next gate. Now this gate has to have a 3 on it, and I have to be able to go through it. And I'm going to have to be able to turn back this way, because I couldn't ever go down to find another red gate, and then you'd have to find another blue gate before you got to this one. But I can't go back up north because I'm skiing down a hill. Okay. So this has to be a high again, so that's 7, 8, 9. So this has to be a 5. Which still works on a German whisper type concept, because it had to be high and low, so 5 is never on this path. So that said, one of these has to be a 5, but that's not very helpful. But one of these has to be a 4. I don't think I want to mark that yet. Now, okay, here's something I missed. This can't be a 5 or a 7, because then this wouldn't have anywhere to be between. So this is the 9, this is the 5. These are not 9s. This is not a 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need still need a 4 in here, but I don't know where that goes. Can I do anything up here? I need a 1, it could go anywhere. A 4 can go anywhere. 6 can go anywhere. 7 can go anywhere. And the 9 can go anywhere. So no, not really. Alright, let's try this. It's gotta be low. It's not 2 or 3. It's not 1, because 1 can't be in an in-between line. For the same reason 9 can't be. So this has to be 4. So this has to be 3 up to something. This has to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a 10. This has to go low again, so it's 1, 3, or 4. This has to be high, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can't be 9 because that's going to be on a between line. This has to be low. It's not 1 or 2, so it's 3 or 4. Okay. What's next? Like I said, I know one of these is a 4. Oh, well, that does help me now because I've got a 4 here. I didn't see that. This can't be the 4, so this is the 4. That opens up some stuff. So this has to be the 3. So these are not 3s. This can't be a 7. So this has to be a 4 by Sudoku. There has to be a 5 on here, and it can't be there, so it's there. So this has to be able to go above 6, 7, or 8. So this can't be 8, because that would have to be 9. So this has to be 7 or 8. So I've got a 7, 8 pair there. 9, 6, 7, 8. This could still be 6 or 7. Because it's between 4 and 8. What do these have to be? I need a 1, 6, 7, 9. That didn't do much. I mean, it removes a 9 from here. But that's it. What about these? These have to be 1, 3, and 7. There has to be a 3 on it, so it can't be a 7. No, sorry. It can't be a 1. Backwards there. So this has to be the 3, 7, so that a 4 can be between it. Which means this is the 1, this is the 7. These are not 7s. That's an 8. That's not 8. That's not 2. So I've got a 1, 4 pair here. Now it looks like this has to be the next gate to go through. So this has to have a 5. And it also means that I've got to get through here. So I can continue with my polarity. This has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So it's 8 or 9, not 6 or 7. This has to be low. It's not 1, 3, or 4, so it has to be a 2. This has to be high, 6, 7, 8, not 9. What did I say? This had to have a 5. Okay, so this can't. No, that's not true. So these have to be from 5, 7, 8, and 9. That's not 7. That's not 7. So one of them is a 5, the other one's an 8 or a 9. Okay. There has to be a 5 over here from Sudoku, so that's not the 5, which means this is. Okay. What else is next in line? So this is going to have to go through here. And one of these has a 6 on it. I don't think that does me much good. So this has to be low. It's not 2 or 3, so it's 1 or 4. I don't know if this does this or this. If he's doing a comfortable slalom, it would do that. But if he wants to kind of mix it up. So either way, this is low. Because it either goes down here to a high to low or to high to low. So low. 1, 2, or 3. Which means this has to be high. 6, 7, 8, 9. This has to be low. 1, 2. Can't be 3 or 4. And this can never be 9 because it's on a between line. This has to have a 6 on it. So this is not a 6. So this is 6, 8, 9. It's going to have a 6. It's either got a 7 or 8 between it. So if it's a 7, it could be 8. If it's 8, it has to be 9. What next? I don't know that. Oh, I'm just gonna say I don't think Sudoku yet is gonna help me, but it sure does. That 1 can't be a 1 on any of those. It has to be a 1 on one of these, which means that's a 4. Oh, 4. Stay on there. All right, that gives me some more clues to work with. So this cannot be 1, 2. It cannot be 2, 4, and it cannot be 4, 8. So this has to be 3, 6. And therefore that's a 3, and that's a 6. That's not a 6. That was helpful. Yay, Sudoku. That's not 6, so this is. That breaks that open. So I need a 4 on the line. It has to go there. This is 7, 8, 9. 8, 9. So that's a 7, 8, 9 triple. So I have to have a 1 on this line. It's got to be over here. These have to be 2, 3, and 6. So that's 9, 1, 4, 8. Not 8. Now these are 5, 7, 8. That's not 5. That's not 8. That was not 2, by the way. 5, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's 9 then. So that's 7, 6, 8, and 9. These are 5 and 7. So it looks like this is breaking up now. This is a 1, 2 pair. That's a 1, 2 pair. So these have to be 5 and 7. This can never be 5 because that's an X to create a 10. So it'd be 5, 5. So it's 7, 5, 3. That's an 8. These are from 1, 2, 3, and 9. That's not 3. Alright, so this has to go down here to connect, because this has to be a opposite polarity. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9, which is 6 or 7, because it can't be 8 or 9. Which means this has to be 5, 6, 7, or 8. It's not 5 or 6. And it's not 8. So this is 7. That's 6. This is a 1. Okay. Now this slalom has to continue straight through. What does that do for me? This has to be high. 6, 7, 9. This has to be low. Cannot be 1, 2, or 3 because it can't be 4. This has to have what on it? 7, right? It's not there, so that's 7. 8, 5. This has to be a 5. This has to be a 1 or a 2. That's not 9. That's the end. Okay, so the slalom is done. He was very smooth operator on that one. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is not 6. Oh, that 3 right there gives me a 2, 1, 2, 1. 3 gives me the 6. That's a 3 and a 2. That's not 6. 2, 1, 6. Got a 1 there, so that's 9 and 1. 3 gives me 7 and 3. This is 9. That's 3. This is a given 8. These have to be 4, 6, and 7. That's 6. That's 4, that's 7. I need a 4 and a 5, so 4, 5. I don't know those yet. So what's these two? 2 and 8. 2, 8. This is going to finish it. 9, 2. And these are 3 and 9. Hey, there we go. Cool. That was a lot of fun. Once again, I love those fog puzzles. Because you start with this little bit, and you feel like, there's nothing up here. You got a couple clues, you got to figure something out. But once it starts flowing, it really just is a lot of fun. So anyway, great Sudoku, Skiing Through the Fog by ElChiglia. Love that one. Hope to do more like it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you later.